Hello, this is Steve Segura for ECTV, and today we are visiting Hoist Liftruck right off of Railroad Avenue in East Chicago, Indiana. And we're going to see a little bit about what this company has to offer the residents and the city of East Chicago as a whole. We're inside here at Hoist Liftruck. This is their offices where they're going to have most of their workers. And we're going to go inside to the factory now and see what they got going on. Hello, this is Steve Segura for ECTV, and we are here across the street from my job at Hoist Lift, a new company that's come into East Chicago that is really helping us turn the corner here, and we greatly appreciate you coming in. This is Marty Flaska, the president of the company. Tell us a little bit about why you chose to come to East Chicago and what we have to look forward to.
So our company manufactures very large capacity forklifts used right here in your town at the local steel mills and other can companies and automotive companies. We were looking for a facility to expand our company that had heavy capacity cranes. Our preference was an existing building that we could remodel, that we could open in quickly. One of our attractions to Northwest Indiana, and specifically East Chicago, is the labor market. The availability of this type building that you'll see later. Trained workers that understand heavy industry, welding, machining, painting, assembly. The other incentives are the low property taxes, the availability of training dollars to retrain workers that may need some additional skills. So as you tour the facility today, we plan to open on December 15th. We're going to start moving production at the end of November. We have a number of jobs that will be available in a variety of different departments at our company that'll start to be announced by the City of East Chicago. Enjoy your tour around our facility and meeting some of the people that are here helping us make it happen. We've hired a number of East Chicago residents that are actually helping us construct this facility to get it ready.
And I must say, just from looking across the street daily at the activity, this guy's not playing, because these guys are working their butts off. I mean, from, my son came and applied. He comes home and he's like, man, I'm grateful as a parent, that you gave him the opportunity for employment. It's in his field of construction, and like many of the other guys, that we'll be interviewing, it's good to have a place where you can work, live, and make a living for your family here in East Chicago. And we'd like to thank you for giving the residents here that opportunity. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we take the tour?
Yes. I'm excited as well, because we obviously have a lot of existing employees. And when I look at the cost of homeownership in this city compared to the city that I'm taking them from, my average employee is going to add between $1,500 and $2,000 in net take-home, with the savings between the property tax, the sales tax, 11.8% in Cook County. So typical family, it's a really big deal. And the fact that many of them have kids that are of college age now, and you look at the programs that are available in the state I'm coming from compared to the programs and the quality of the universities in Indiana, it's really exciting. And I expect to have 250 of our employees move to this community to help fill some of those shops that the city's been remodeling and creating.
That's good. You know what? And what he says is very true. The cost of living in Illinois is more than Indiana. I've had some friends that have moved here specifically for that reason. So I'm glad your employees that you currently have now will be able to benefit from that. And who knows, maybe they'll be my neighbor one day. Well, thank you very much for joining us today here, Marty. We're going to take a brief tour of the facilities and do a couple interviews with the guys that are on the job. right, joining us now is an old friend of mine, John Ramos. We used to call him Moose back in the day. He's a general laborer here at Hoist. Tell us a little bit about your job and your experience here at Hoist and what you like about this company.
Well, when they first brought me here, I was tuck pointing. I was painting the sides of the building, doing repairs on top of the roof. You know, a little bit of everything inside, cleaning up, a lot of cleaning up, because it was, you know, was stuff all over the place. But, I mean, it's good. They pay a decent wage, and, you know, I'm just happy they came to our neighborhood.
Joining us here today is the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Sanchez. ¿Cómo estás, Daniel?
Bien, gracias. Soy de East Chicago. Vine hace 15 años, me moví de Chicago y aquí estoy. Y contento que me dieron la oportunidad de trabajar aquí, a esta compañía. Me siento bien contento y pagan bien.
Y pagan bien, dice. ¿Y qué tipo de trabajo haces?
Yo ahorita en estos momentos estoy haciendo de construcción y limpieza aquí. Sí.
Y venías de Chicago, dices,
Yo viví en Chicago.
Vivías en Chicago.
Viví para ir a Chicago hace 15 años.
Y
No encontraba trabajo en el área. Me tenía que ir a trabajar hasta Chicago Heights, a Michigan City, lejos de aquí. Y un día manejando por aquí pasé y pedí trabajo y me dieron trabajo.
pues está bien. Y si te gusta el trabajo aquí, ¿qué es tu favorita cosa pues de esta compañía?
Mi favorito trabajo sería manejar, montacargas o soldar. Eso es mi favorito porque es mi preferencia, mi profesión.
Y ya cuando se acaba la construcción, ¿quieres continuar con la compañía?
Por supuesto, 100% que sí. Sí.
Si hay alguna una cosa que les quieres decir a los residentes de Chicago, ¿qué les gustaría decir?
Que se animen a trabajar para aquí y pónganles la decisión y la actitud buena que vengan para aquí, con buena actitud. Decididos a querer trabajar y aquí está el trabajo abierto para todos.
Pues muchas gracias, Danny. Le aprecio y ahí lo vemos en el trabajo.
A building connection through there to connect building 4 to building 2. Through that opening, we're going to be bringing our welded assemblies into this building, already powder coated, and then they'll come into this building to be assembled. This building is 86 or 87,000 square feet. We've put in all new lights, the roof, repainted the interior, heating systems existing. We're replacing the entire floor. We put in all new air lines, water, plumbing, electrical outlets, and everything we need to set up our business. We have 2 more rooms left to build. In that back corner we have locker rooms for as many as 300 people. We're building a lunchroom and an electrical assembly room. So in this building, the material will come around and flow that way. So we'll have raw, unassembled parts. They'll go from this stage, get assembled, and get tested and ship out that back door.
So this is your main hub.
Assembly of taking all the bits and pieces that we make, putting them all together into a finished forklift.
How many different areas once it goes here, how many different areas does it have to go to before you get a finished product?
There's probably 50.
Wow. We should get a mic to
Can you get Dan out back and let's start the setup? So the building connection's actually getting built to connect these 2 buildings together. On the outside, we put in the fence, the sign, re-sided the sides of the building with new siding. We painted them. You can see the men here digging. What they're doing now is getting ready to put in parking curbs and landscaping. So we're spending about $45,000 on the landscape, so you're going to love your view.
No, that's good. I asked what was going on in the parking lot. I thought they were going to resurface it first. That's good. Greenery is always nice. Joining us now is Mark Rogenkamp. Rogenkamp. I got to remember that name. It's different. What type of name is that?
It's Eastern European, German descent, I believe. Yeah.
And you're here from Chicago?
Yes, I live a couple blocks away.
On this side of town or in the harbor?
Right here on this side.
He's from EC. I'm from the harbor. It's all good. Still got a lot of love from my neighbors across the street, but it's all good. So tell us a little bit about your experience here at Hoist and what you like about this place.
You know, it's good. It's great, actually. Can we do that over? All right. So just go whenever I'm ready. The experience here is great. I've had a lot of experience with everything because I'm a general laborer. So I've done a little bit of everything.
What did you go to school for? Did you see yourself working here?
No, I did not. I actually worked at another construction company, and I got offered this job, so I took it. You know, it's a great pay advance, and I like it.
That's cool. Now, after this whole construction phase is done, do you plan to continue with Hoist? You're going to take the opportunity to, and the reason I say that is because these guys are going to be offered a chance to work here permanently and get training at Ivy Tech. If that's offered to you, are you going to take it?
Yes, of course. The career opportunities are endless, and I would love to work here.
Now, have you kind of eyeballed where you want to be?
No, there's too many opportunities, like I said, so I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Okay, joining us now is my very own son, Steven Segura. How you doing, Steven?
I'm doing really good.
Tell us a little bit about your job here. What do you do?
Basically, a little bit of everything. I mean, it's a really good experience. They made me put with the electricians, which it's a lot to do, a lot of what I do over there, and I'm learning a lot, little by little. But I'm getting there. Also, they put me with the painters, the paint on one building, and also when I first started joining here. My first job was a tuck point at every concrete.
Cool. What was the hardest thing you've ever had to do here?
The hardest thing, I would say probably put up a drywall by myself. Yeah, if you're by yourself, yes.
Yeah, drywalling is no joke. I did the basement in my house, and it was tough. I will never drywall again, so I give it up to you guys. Now, what are you going to do with all that money you're saving up?
I don't know. Try to buy a house.
That's a good idea, you know, because a lot of young people, once they get this job, they go out there and spend their money foolishly. It's wise to invest in a home. It's never good to rent, and I'm glad that you're thinking about that in the future. Well, we're going to go see you on location, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
See you at home.
So this building runs like the other one the entire length of the property, and as the material gets received in that far back door, it's almost a block back, the material will get received, cut, bent, welded, machined, powder coated, and then move across. So all the way across this entire bay, all the way back, we have a variety of different welding, bending, and machining processes that will happen to the flat plate steel that turn it into the shapes and parts we need to build our forklift. We started doing the demolition in this building. This building will get, like the other one, lights, paint, power, locker rooms, lunchroom, cranes.
I noticed they have some really big cranes in this bay right here.
Yes.
And is that one of the key components that you know?
It is.
Like
So to replace this building, and the reason why the city shouldn't demo any more of these buildings, a new building like this would cost about $100 a square foot to build. So this property would cost $55 million. We spent $12 million to buy it, and we'll spend a couple million to remodel it, and then almost $10 million in machinery going in.
All right, joining us now we have Michael Henning, one of our local residents here in East Chicago. Tell us what you like about Hoist Liftruck.
Man, it's giving people in the city opportunities to have good jobs. You know, before this, we really didn't have none in the city, East Chicago, I mean.
Like what, describe your job. What do you do here?
Well, I'm fixing up the roof right now, but today was a little rainy, so I'm putting up drywall.
What have you learned anything new here?
Yeah, I'm putting up drywall. Hopefully I can put this in my house.
Hey, you never know the skills you pick up on a day-to-day basis. You could always learn how to do something and apply it to your own home. I'm hoping my son learns some of this stuff so he could fix me a deck in the back of the house.
I'll help him out.
All right, that's good. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the job in a few minutes, Michael.
So this is an interesting building. When I bought it, we didn't realize there was a second floor all the way in back because it was covered by sheet metal walls, and it looked like we were looking at the roof. We discovered from doing some demolition that there was actually a second floor, which was an old locker room.
Didn't find any bodies in here, did you?
No, 22 feet high, the second floor.
We're hoping to find Jake Givens, but it didn't happen. Oh, well.
So on this side of the building, too, there's lunchrooms and locker rooms going in, and we're really just freshening up what was already there, getting them current, fixing the drywall, fixing the windows and doors, and getting them to meet current standards.
Joining us next is one of my favorite neighbors, man. How you doing, Manuel?
Doing all right.
This is Manuel Alvarez. We both grew up in Sunnyside, and he had the opportunity to come here and work at Hoist, and he's actually the one that told my son to come and apply. Tell us, what do you like about this company, and what do you do here?
Everything's good. It's good people to work for. This is a opportunity, you know. As I worked for the city of East Chicago, and I heard about this place, I came and applied. I got hired. I started off doing demolition actually up here. We tore the wall here, brick, concrete with hammers. I became an operator, operate the payloader. Any machinery out here, operate. We're doing concrete, painting the outside of the building. A little bit of everything I did.
Tell me, and I see you guys out here, busting your butts, man. What is the hardest thing you've had to do here?
The hardest thing I had to do here, I don't know. I mean, everything I just got on. I mean, nothing really is hard.
That's what I like to hear. He says nothing's hard.
Nothing's hard. You gotta put yourself to it. You know. Nothing was hard. You know, just learn.
It's good. I mean, it's good to learn. Like I said, learning a new trade, learning, different things.
More and more. You know, a little bit they show you, you pick up as you're working. You know, a lot of guys here don't have experience, but they're picking up.
That's good.
They're learning.
This was the old wall finish paint. You get an idea. It's just nasty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When we're done, it's going to look like the other space you had just seen.
Getting my inside corners together.
Something else that's little known is that crane sitting in the back is a 40-ton Xenar crane. That crane new is $300,000. There's probably 20 of those on the property.
20?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, then you did good. Real good.
That's why the building costs so much when you buy a new one.
Oh, yeah. Now, how do you plan on, this is such a big building, how do you plan on keeping this warm?
So it's insulated, and in this particular building, I'm putting in 8 radiant heaters that are tubular style, non-condensing, and I'm putting in 1 large air rotation heater, so it pulls the cool air off the floor, it warms it, pushes it out the top, and it keeps recirculating the air in the building. Then the radiant heaters actually heat the concrete and get the concrete warm, so then the warm concrete radiates in the building as well.
Oh,
it'll be 65 degrees on the coldest day.
Excellent. All right, joining us now is Alberto Garcia, and he is one of the painters here at Hoist. Tell us, how'd you hear about the job, and what do you like about this job?
First heard about it in the paper, and started to come up here, started working here, and I like the group of people around here. He's giving everybody the opportunity to do work jobs around here is it's good for the city, and I want to continue to work here.
That's cool. Now, where did you come from before? What were you doing before this?
I was working in landscaping, but it wasn't able to 2 hours. It was out of town. It wasn't in town here in Chicago, so it's good because it's only 5 minutes from my house. So
yeah, that's the good thing for a lot of our local residents here. You know, you could literally walk to this place. And what do they got you doing right now?
Right now, we was breaking up concrete and laying down some foundation.
Hey, we're back here now with Luis Solis. Where are you from? What part of EC, man?
I'm from the Harbor.
That's a good place, man. I'm from the Harbor, too. Tell us a little bit about your experience here at Hoist.
Been doing electric. They gave me the chance to to show my electrical skills, and I've been doing it, showing it. We did the lights in here, the Bay Area. There's still a lot of electrical stuff to do. So they're giving me the opportunity to show my skills.
What was the most challenging thing you've had to do here?
The electric, the tear down, to take all the old stuff out and put in new stuff.
Oh, that's cool. And what do they do with all the old stuff? Like all the old copper, do they scrap it or?
Scrap it, get rid of it, get it out of the way.
That's good. Tell us about, how'd you hear about this?
I first heard about it in, I think it was a website I was searching through, and it said that they were hiring. So I took the opportunity to submit a resume, and they called me about 2 weeks later.
That's cool. If you, what would you say to any young people that are, looking or to work in East Chicago? What advice would you give them?
Education. Educate yourself, get a skill, come over here, and the man might give you a job.
Joining us now is Jonathan Torres, one of the general laborers here at Hoist. Tell us a little bit about your experience here at Hoist.
It's been pretty good. The employees are all good to you here, and everybody watches each other's back, and we take care of each other. If you need help or whatever, they're always there to give you a hand, and all the supervisors, they get you what you need, and they're there to help you.
So how old are you?
19.
That's a nice young age to have a nice job, man.
One of the youngest here, actually.
I thought my son was the youngest, but you got him beat. Man, that's a good job for a 19-year-old. If what's your dad and mom say about the paycheck?
No, my dad's just like, make sure you save your money because, you're going to need it in the long run.
That's right. That's what I tell my son. I says, you save it away as much as you can, buy yourself a nice home. And that's a good thing about Hoist. It gives a lot of young people like yourself the opportunity to make a living here in East Chicago or wherever you choose to live. But, that was one of the mayor's hopes and visions that, the people that come to work here will end up investing back into their community and sticking around and making East Chicago a bigger, better place to live. And, it's people like you that are helping make that dream come true. Tell us a little bit about what do you do around here?
Well, I'm a general laborer, so, I do basically a little bit of everything. When I got here, I started off doing a lot of demolition, but a couple weeks later, they threw me, well, not threw me, but, they told me to do some siding, and I was like, well, never really done that before, but they explain to you and they show you how to do everything that you need to get the job done. So I did that for several weeks, maybe like a month at the most. So I did like the entire front of the building, and they seen how me and my partner worked together, so we got it done quick. Front of the building was done within a week, and then they was like, all right, do the side. I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting all that, but we got the side done in probably less than a week. So, we're pretty good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I was wondering who was way up there. I was like, man, that's kind of scary being way up there.
It should be.
So you're not scared of heights, I take it?
No, but some days you sway a little bit and you're like, oh, crap,
Yeah, you got to be careful. You always got to wear your safety gear. But that's good to hear. Do you foresee yourself continuing after the construction phase is done? Do you want to make this kind of your home?
Yes, I definitely do. I really like working here. It's taught me a lot about people and myself. Like what I'm capable of, and I think I'm pretty much capable of anything. Because if I picked up siding that quick, then I feel like I can pick up anything that quick.
Now, I'm sure there might be some concerns with this, being so big about pollution and air quality in Chicago. What is Hoist doing about that?
So our company doesn't admit any smoke out of its facility. We have all very large air filtration units that are on all of our cutting equipment that bring in the smoke, turn the smoke back into dust, filter it, and drop that dust into drums that we dispose of.
Cool.
So 100% recycled. The same for our paint process. Our paint process is powder coating, so it has 0 VOCs. So we're trapping all the excess powder in filters and recycling the powder from those filters. So our painting is 100% VOC free.
That's great. It's always great to hear that no pollution is good pollution.
The wall that ran all the way up front, it's down, so now it connects the spaces, and that wall is also coming down.
You guys wouldn't believe, I was here a couple weeks ago, and this place was a big wall there. They had a fabric wall here that none of that was up to code. So I'm glad that you're bringing this building back up to regulations and codes.
As well, we're putting in a complete fire protection system, full stations, fire alarms. It'll directly dial to the fire department if there is any kind of event. We're putting in a current fire protection system with pull stations.
That's good. Let's move on. Over here you can see there's another one of our Chicago residents in the background. I guess this is his work area. There, I believe, is this the area where the robot? Oh yeah, look. Back there you can see a bunch of old robots. And I guess, what was this, like a robot?
So Tower Automotive builds parts for Ford Motor Company, and Tower Automotive uses this for their robot graveyard. They're going to be staying on the property but relocating to that south wall.
Now, how many other people are on this facility? How many other companies?
So we have ECT, who's been here since '96. We have Heitman, that's a recent East Chicago business that's been here about 9 months. Heitman spent $9.2 million remodeling their space. Quite impressive to move in. On a building they didn't own, which is interesting. Heitman was attracted to this town and the space because of the crane capacity, logistics to their customers, both on the steel supply side and the end use that they would ship to. We then have Jacobs that does all the logistics for BP Amoco. Of course, Tower Automotive with the robot graveyard, and then ourselves.
That's cool.
Future office for the plasma production people here. Doesn't look like much now, but it's going to be unbelievable.
Right now, repeat what you just said.
So this is our future office for our plasma cutting supervision team and programmers. It doesn't look like much today, but within 2 or 3 weeks we should have this room finished and ready.
Now, how many plasma cutters do you have, or will you have?
We own 3 plasma cutting machines. Those machines will be programmed here and supervised from this office.
Cool.
Of course, this is where my plasma tables go. That's why we're moving it out. So all of my plasma tables and steel receiving are all the way back here. So when we're on the other end of the building, as you can see, to get an idea of the length. My current facility, so one of the questions you asked earlier is why did I pick this site? This is also one of the only sites that has bays this large where I can bring raw in the back door and ship a completed assembly out the front door.
So let's get a whole pan down. You can see just how big this place is. So, once this is all completed, what's your total investment in this property?
We'll have 14 in the building and another 10 million in production equipment.
Wow, that's a lot of money coming to Chicago. That's good. Good to hear.